Mansions were just released into GTA Online and they immediately became the most expensive properties in the game, which is why in today's video I'm starting over on a brand new account to see how long it takes to go from a broke level 1 player to owning a mansion in GTA Online. This is going to be a long and grueling process, but I'm up for the challenge, so with that being said, join me as I go from broke to the proud owner of a mega mansion. Alright, we are here in Los Santos and we're currently a level 1 with $0 in the bank. And our goal for this video is to buy the Richmond Villa for $12.8 million. We have a really long way to go, but there's plenty of ways to make money now in GTA Online, and there was a new one added today, but we won't be getting into that for the next little while. So to start things off, I just stole this car so that we could go sell it at the Los Santos Customs and then be able to go buy some guns and ammo. And that's because right out the gate, we're going to get into some heists that will make us tons of money as a beginner player. So let's sell off the coupe here for $6,500. That's perfect. That should be enough to get us what we need. But now that I have the money, I'm over here in an ammunition so that we could grab a pistol and maybe one other weapon if we could afford it. Alright, so I'm going to buy as much ammo for my pistol as I can here. And then the other thing I'll need in the future is a suppressor, but I have to be rank 5 to unlock it. And then the only other things we're going to get out of here are a couple free weapons. So we have the shotgun here. I'll buy a few rounds for that. And we could also get the sawed-off shotgun for free as well. I have enough to get the heavy pistol, so I might as well for now. And as we could see, we could already get the suppressor. I just need $12,000. So now that I'm stocked up on weapons, I'm going to buy some armor here. And with that, we're now going to head over to a stash house to make a quick 30k, maybe buy an SMG if we can, so that I could finish off getting all the weapons that I need. Alright, I've arrived at the stash house, and these appear one every real life day, and all we have to do is go inside, take out some people, grab some loot, and then escape the area, and when we do, we will get that 30k. So, a handful of enemies in here, I'm probably gonna die the first time. Yep, okay. Alright, finally took out the guy. Now we have to unlock this safe. To do so, there's going to be a sticky note here with the code. Alright, we are in. We could steal the files or whatever it is. And now I have to leave the area, and this is going to be a little bit tricky because I need to get a car since our other one despawned. Perfect, this will do. And there you go, we've completed the stash house raid and we just made 30k. So with this money, I'm going to buy some more armor, get the suppressor on the heavy pistol, and pick up a couple sticky bombs as well as grenades. Now the only things left to do are to pick up some snacks from Simeon's. They're always here in the front room on this table. I'm going to load up all my snacks for free. This will allow me to replenish my health while doing missions. And now the final thing to do is to buy a garage, which I can for free, and get one of the best armored vehicles in the game for free, the Duke of Death. And now that that's all taken care of, I'm going to head over to this V on the map to start up the Cluckin Bell farm raid, one of the best ways to make money in the game as a solo and beginner player. So here we are, let's get into the Cluckin Bell farm raid, and as I said, this is a heist that we could do right out the gate as a level 1 with no business or anything. Just like other heists, it has a handful of setup missions, I believe 5 in total, and 1 finale, and at the end of it, we're going to get paid out $500,000 plus a $250,000 first time bonus. Alright, so that cutscene is over. We could get into the first mission, and this one's pretty simple. We have to head over to 2 money laundering businesses, take all the money from them, and then bring the cash to a final location if I remember correctly. Now, having the Duke of Death for this mission is really important, which is why I got it ahead of time. It's also just going to come in handy quite a bit during this money grind, but the main reason why we want it is because it allows us to take out a bunch of enemies while protected in a vehicle. So that's what I'm going to do here. We got to take out everybody outside of the business first, and then we could go inside. Alright, we're inside. There's going to be a couple guys in here. I believe one more will come out of the door at the very back. Yep, there you go. And now I can steal the cash from the washing machines here. Alright, took everything from there. Let's now head over to the second money laundering business. Once again, I'm going to have to take out everybody outside and then get the cash from inside. Alright, I cleaned out the place. Now it's time to head over to Vincent's lockup. Okay, we've arrived, and that is the first mission done. And now that we've done the intro mission, we could see all the missions we have to do before doing the finale. So the first one is going to be the setup, breaking, and entering. So this mission is pretty straightforward. We only have 3 or 4 things we have to do, with the first of which being grabbing a laptop down at the pier. So to find the laptop, we have to find an employee of Cluckin Bell. There's only a couple locations they can be, but usually we have to find someone who's playing on an arcade machine. There they are. So we got them here. The laptop is right next to them. We're just going to pick this up and move on to the terabyte. Alright, we've arrived at the terabyte location. There's a couple places it could be, but for this specific location, it's always going to be here on the far side. Parked up here in this little alcove. I don't know if you want to call it that. But now to get into the terabyte, I'm going to have to shoot down these drones, which I should probably probably get back in the Duke of Death for because they are going to take me out. All right, that should be it. Now I could steal the hacking device. Now that I have the laptop and the hacking device, I'm going to go to the cartel compound, steal the train, and drive it until the mission is done. All right, one of these guys is going to have the train key. You never really know which one, but just as I will for all these missions, I'm just staying in the Duke of Death. We got lucky. It was one of the first ones. Now I could steal the train. This part of the mission is really easy. Once we get into the hackable area, we could turn the traffic signals, allowing us to go through, and I pretty much have to do this like 4 or 5 times, and that's the mission done. And there you go, that's the first setup mission done. All right, let's now get into the setup mission, concealed weapons. This one is really straightforward. We have 3 different options of weapons to choose from. At each location, there's going to be a handful of enemies we have to take out, and the difficulty of enemies increases depending on how good the weapons are. So A being the worst, with C being the best weapons, but for this heist, you only really need the bare minimum. So I'm going to go for A. So at this location, there's going to be a handful of enemies here. We could take them out pretty quickly using the Duke of Death once again and a drive-by weapon. And then the weapons are going to be stashed in one of these blue vehicles. All right, everyone's been taken out. I'm going to check all the trunks, and then we're also going to get the gear as well in one of those crates. Luckily, we got the weapons on the first trunk, which is perfect. And then I'm going to pick up the gear from this crate. And what's actually great about option A is the fact that you get a crowbar, which is something that you need for the finale anyways. So even though the weapons are slightly worse in the other 2 locations, having the crowbar actually saves you about a minute or 2 during the finale. We're back here at Vincent's lockup, and that is the mission complete. The next setup mission to get into is hit and run. This mission is just like the last mission, except this time we are going to get the getaway vehicle for the finale instead of the weapons. So once again, we have 3 different locations, 3 different vehicles, all of which being a different quality, but of course, once again, we're going to go for target A. This time, this vehicle does make a pretty big difference, but with the way I'm going to do the finale, it won't matter if I have a bad vehicle. Okay, so location A is pretty straightforward. It's at a gas station here. I'm going to have to take out a handful of enemies here, just a couple of them. But now that I've done that, I'm going to take out the alarm or the switch, which will open up the garage door, and now I could steal this car. The impaler handles like a boat, but like I said, it won't really matter in the finale. Now we just have to bring it to the garage, which is right next to the Cluckin Bell factory. Okay, I've arrived at the garage. Now we have to enter and then text Vincent to confirm our choice. There you go, and that is that setup mission done, which means we are now at the final setup, Disorganized Crime, and this one is more complicated because depending on how we complete this mission, we're going to either do the finale in stealth or aggressive approach. And by far the easiest way to do the finale is stealth, so we're going to have to make sure to do things correctly for this setup. So the first thing to do is to head over to the Cluckin Bell outlet. Now that we are here, we have to hack the cartel's vans here. It seems like they were already alerted, but we hacked that van and there's nobody there, or it didn't tell us where we wanted to go rather, so instead we have to go to the other van. All right, we hacked the other van. Now we'll get the information or location of the cartel's garage. Okay, we've arrived, and the next part we're going to have to do it stealth, and this is why I got the suppressor at the very beginning of this challenge. So I'm going to get my heavy pistol with the suppressor, and what we're going to have to do is take out all these guards as fast as possible before anybody gets alerted. So the first guard has been taken out with the suppressor. Perfect. I'm going to take out the guard here on the left, the guard here on the right as well. I'm going to take out the guard in front of me, the guard over in that room. I'll take out the camera while I'm here, and now everybody has been alerted. So I'm going to take out these guys as fast as I possibly can. We have to do it before that bar in the bottom right hand corner goes down. All right, I just died. That's not what you want to see. All right, I'm going to be a bit faster about this. Use the shotgun instead. Having the snacks that I got at the very beginning is really helping me here as well. And now I believe I have one more guy. There you go. All right, so if I'm not mistaken, I took out everybody in the time. I now can wipe the CCTV footage, and this will allow me to do the finale in stealth. You have to make sure to take out all the guards in that time and wipe the footage. So that is exactly what I've done here, and now the only thing left to do is sabotage the 3 trucks and then grab, or 4 trucks rather, and then grab a key card from the change rooms. All right, all the trucks have been sabotaged. Now I'm going to grab the drill here and start drilling into the lockers until we get the key card. All right, we got the key card pretty early on, only our 3rd locker. The final thing to do is to leave the garage, pick up this flatbed and drive it over to Vincent's lockup. And this flatbed will be the confirmation that the finale will be done in stealth. Here we are. That is the end of the mission. Now we could get into the finale. Okay, let's get into the finale. We're only like, what, maybe an hour into this challenge, and we're already at the finale of our first heist, which I said will pay out 750k. So if we keep at this pace, this challenge might not take as long as I initially thought, although we'll have to see when we get there. So This is the finale. We're going to sneak in inside of this Cluckin Bell crate, and then we're going to have to move through the facility, take out a bunch of guards, get our final loot, and take off without being noticed. Now, this mission isn't too difficult, but I have to be careful. So, first guard I'm going to take out is right in front of me. Second guard is right to my right. Third guard is walking, and now I'm going to take out the power box here. Now we're inside the main facility. The first guard I'm going to take out is the one right in front of me. The second two are going to be right next to each other. Let's take out all these guys at once. Okay, hopefully we haven't. Oh, we have alerted. Okay, that's not what you want to see. I'm going to restart this mission, unfortunately, and do it all over again. All right, let's take a second shot at this, and I'm going to skip to the point where I was at just before. All right, so the thing I did wrong before was rush. It's best to take these guys out slowly. So, 2 guards here, take out the other guard here on the right. Perfect. We should not have alerted anybody. I can now take out the guard on the left, take out the guard on the right, and I'm actually going to go, it's a bit tricky, but go for the final 2 guards at the very end of the tunnel. I don't know if I did that successfully, but let's see. Yes, I did. Okay. So now that I've taken out everybody, I'm going to go into this coke lockup and take all the loot. There's a couple people in here though, so we have to be careful. Took out the guard there, took out the lab worker, and then we have another worker on our left. Now I could grab all the coke. Okay, I got everything. Let's go to the next location. So in the next part of the factory, we're gonna have to take out the first guard on the left, and then another guard will be walking through the door here any second, so we just gotta wait for him. All right, here he is. Take him out. Perfect. I'm gonna grab the keys that are on the desk here first, and then I'm gonna go into the second coke location. In here, there's gonna be 2 more guards, so I'm gonna take out the one on the right first, and then the one on the left, and now I could use the crowbar that I got from that first setup mission to open up all the crates here. That's all of the coke taken. Now it's time to move through the rest of the facility. I'm going to take out this guard right in front of me, and if I remember correctly, there's only 2 more guards left. Yeah, there's 1 right here, and there's going to be 1 right in front of us right there, and 1 more actually. 1 more in front of the office. There you go. So I've taken out everybody in the factory completely stealth. We're going to hack the office computer here, and using the hacking device that we just got, I'm going to get the code to the safe. All right, the first computer has been acquired. The second part of the code is acquired, and finally the third part of the code is acquired. So the code is 334629. All right, we are in. We could take the final contents, and now we have to leave the factory and escape the area successfully. It's best to do this part stealthily as well, so I'm going to try to do that. I have to follow along the side of the building. There's a handful of guards, but there's only a couple I have to take out. That's the first one. This is the second one on the right. I have 2 more to do. There's going to be 1 next to the garbage can and 1 further, and actually 2 more to do. One's going to be right in front of us there, the other one in front of the garage. Now I could get the getaway vehicle and drive away. And the easiest way to get out of here is to drive along the train tracks. So I'm going to try to avoid any suspicion just for the first little bit, even though I will get spotted right out the gate. There you go. But now the best thing to do is to request the personal vehicle as soon as I get out of that radius there. My Duke of Death has been delivered, and now I could follow the train tracks all the way back to the city and Vincent's lockup to finish off the finale. The best place to lose the cops is in this windmill farm, and now that we've lost the cops, we're back here at Vincent's lockup, and that is the heist complete. So, like I said earlier, we're going to get $500K for completing the heist, as well as a $250,000 first time completion bonus. Alright, let's see our cash come in. There you go, $500,000, and we'll get the first time bonus shortly after we log back into the session. Alright, we are back. We just got the $250K, which means we're now sitting at $751,000. And so far we've spent just under 2 hours on this grind. Now I believe like 20 or 30 minutes of that is creating the characters, doing the intro mission on my second character, and then coming over here. But all in all, $750K for our first 2 hours is pretty good. So unfortunately, we can't do the Cluckin Bell farm raid back to back. I believe there's about a 48-minute cooldown before we could do it again. But there is a new heist that was just added to the game today with the mansions update that beginner level players can do. It's very similar to the Cluckin Bell farm raid, and I believe once again it will pay out $750K. So let's head over to this A on the map and get into it. But before we do, I'm here at an ammunition to pick up some weapons just to make these missions a little bit easier. So finally we have an automatic weapon, which is really important, and because I have the money, I might as well go for a better rifle as well. I'm also going to get the special carbine too, as it is just one of the best beginner weapons. But now that we have everything that we need, we could go to the payphone here and speak to Avi, the guy that will be running this heist. Now I haven't played these missions before, so this is going to be completely new to me, but I have seen other people play it. It looks fairly simple. There are a couple new features or things that they add into this heist that is pretty cool, but for the most part, it should be relatively similar to the Cluckin Bell farm raid. So the first mission is a pretty interesting one. We have to go to the self-driving no-way depot, and we're essentially going to be sabotaging the operations of this business so that we could get some gain. So we're going to take out the first guard there. I'm going to take out these two guards on the left, and I broke stealth already. Never mind, I did not. Okay, so far things are okay. We're going to take out the guard on the right. I assume the next one should be the one on the left. The guard that's walking is probably the next one we should take out. We could take out the guy right in front of the computers, take out the guard here, and then we should have one more on our left. There you go. All right, so that was easier than I expected. Now we could enter one of these no-way test pods, and we're essentially going to have to wreak havoc on the city. So the first task is to take it down 5 pedestrians, so let's just go for anybody here. Ooh, that's tough. That's 1, that's 2, here is 3, 4, and 5. We also have to perform some high speed near misses, so I just got 4 there, and I think we need 1 more. Yeah, we do. All right, that is the 5th one, and now we have to somehow jump to a height of 30 feet. I do have an idea though. There is this ramp here. Will this be 30 feet? No. Oh, never mind, it is. Okay, perfect. Now that we've done that, we have to go and destroy the no-way taxis and billboards. So there's a taxi over here. We're gonna run into it. Perfect. I assume we just have to do 1 more. Never mind. Getting the 3rd one. All right, 4 is the charm. Perfect. That is the first taxi destroyed. We have 1 more on the other side of the city. All right, I was heading for the 2nd taxi, but we might as well take out the billboard on the way. Perfect. And here is the taxi. That was enough damage to take it out. I'm now gonna go and destroy the rest of the billboards. Alright, so I took care of all the billboards, and now it's time to destroy all of these no-way taxis. Okay, we've taken care of those, and now all that's left is to use the one that we did. Now we could exit the depot, and the final taxi we have to destroy is the one that we took care of, or the one that we are using. There you go. And the final thing to do for this mission is to go to Avi's dead drop. Here we are, and now we actually have to get into the Felon GT and answer the payphone. But there you go, that's the intro mission complete. Let's now get into the setup missions, and we're getting 30k for this mission, although I do think it is triple money or double money, so it's not usually that much, but we'll take it. Okay, we're here at the next payphone. Let's now get into the second mission. So this mission is a pretty straightforward one. The first thing we have to do is go meet a no-way contact. Okay, we've arrived, and now we're going to take the ominous GT and the no-way contact over to downtown Capco. And now we wait for the contact to plant the explosive. Alright, we're good. They just blew up downtown Capco. But finally, we are here at the hideout, and we have to go to the briefing room where we're going to be here with an FIB agent. Alright, so we now have to take out the no-way mercenaries. This is going to be interesting, but let's just go for it. We have one here right behind us. This is where having those snacks will come in handy. Alright, and I think I've taken everybody out. Now we can exit the hideout. Our next stop is the data center. Once again, we have to take out some mercenaries. We'll have to take them out inside as well. And the things we are now looking for are the hard drives. We have one here, another one on this side, and the final one here on the left. Let's now get out of here. But of course, we are going to be swarmed by mercenaries, so we got to be fairly careful. And once again, here we are at Avi's dead drop. We can open the trunk of his Felon GT and stash the hard drives in there. And finally, we could contact him with the payphone. And that's the end of the mission. We completed the second one. I believe there are 4 in total, maybe 5. So we're getting closer to the finale. But either way, the rest of this process shouldn't take us any longer than maybe 30-40 minutes. Alright, time to start up the third mission. So to start, we're going to go into the LSIA Terminal Station 4, which is somewhere we have never been before. I don't know why I was going over there. We're going down here, and we have to go over to platform 1. Now there are guards in the way, so I'm going to use my suppressed weapon once again to get through this. There you go. That is 2 down. That's 3. Let's get our 4th over here, and our 5th right here. Number 6 is over here, and platform 1 has a ton of guards, so I'm going to have to be careful. We got 1 guard there, 1 guard there, 1 guard there, and there's 1 more guy down here. I'm just going to pull over to the right. There you go. Now we could board the no-way train, but in order to do so, we have to hack the no-way control terminal. This one is just like the Kyle Perico hack, 54, and then there you go, 59. The train is now on the move, and we have to wait until we get to the ambush point. I assume I'm gonna have to be ready for anything, so let's see what happens. We've reached the ambush point. Now we have to wait for the target's train to arrive, which should happen any second. Alright, it's coming. The target's train has arrived. Let's take out all the security in here. Never mind, can't get in. Oh no, no. No, they took me out pretty quick there. Okay, we have one security guard on the right. Perfect. We have another security guard there. We have two, and then the target's going to be in this train. Never mind, the target is down. I got to pick up the briefcase, which I just did, and now we have to deliver it to the drop-off, which is going to be interesting. Okay, so gonna have to take out all these mercenaries. Hopefully they don't take me down. Use those snacks. Oh no, oh no, 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 no. We're not doing that today. There's got to be a vehicle somewhere though. All right, we could open this container here. It says there's going to be a motorcycle. Ooh, two motorcycles in here. Okay, I'm going to go for the one on the left. Gonna get out the snacks just in case. Yeah, that was a smart idea. Okay, wow, this motorcycle feels really fast. Holy, okay, I feel like, yeah, I gotta be careful. Gotta be careful with the snacks. Eat the snacks, eat the snacks. Take out that guy. That was pretty easy. Keep eating the snacks, just spamming them. Wow, this motorcycle is way too fast, and I should have got that jump there. That's okay though. We should be in a good position here to go to Avi's drop off. Can we get over? Oh, just barely. Okay, they're still on our tail, but that's okay. This thing is really quick. I don't know if this is a new motorcycle or not, but man, this thing is fast. All right, we have reached the drop off, and once again, we're gonna stash all of the stuff that we got, or the briefcase rather, into Avi's Felon GT. All right, and that's the mission done. Next up, we have the mission Trash Talking. So this mission's a pretty straightforward one. Once again, we have to act as though we are a Rogers salvage and scrap worker, and we're gonna have to go around the city picking up some trash bags. Here's the trash master. We're gonna have to steal this really quickly. Don't mind me. Excuse me. Thank you. It's time to pick up some trash. All right, I don't know how I alerted the guards, but it is what it is. I'm just gonna have to steal the document bags like this. Now, hopefully this isn't the mission that determines whether we do the finale stealth or aggressive. If it is, then the finale probably just got a lot harder for me. All right, we are at the second office. For some reason, they aren't alerted here, which is cool. The document bags are down here. This time I was able to take out that guard stealthily, and I'm gonna take out the second guard here. Let's try to steal these trash bags and get out of here as fast as possible. Time to head to the final location. All right, we've arrived. Time to get upstairs, and I just alerted all the guards at once. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Okay, that was a bit chaotic, but that's fine. Let's head inside and get what we need. Okay, so the no way documents are right here in the office, in the data center room. If I had to guess, the second batch are going to be over here on the desk. Yes, they are. And that's actually it. We only have to get 2 batches of documents. Now we could leave. Once again, it's time to enter the trash master, and I believe we could now go to our final destination. First, we have to damage the FIB van though. Okay, we are almost done damaging the van. Actually, the SMG works pretty well. Van is damaged. We have to steal the documents, but once again, we got to get snacks going. Oh my. I saw earlier that I could have chosen the easy difficulty for these missions, but it is what it is. All right, we somehow have to get these trash bags into the trash. All right, I'm kind of defenseless right now. We have to get that in there. Good. Now I have to go for the other trash bags. Okay, not a good situation. Gonna be honest, if you're a beginner player, I would definitely suggest doing this mission on easy mode just to be safe, but there you go. We got documents. Once again, I'm gonna open up the snacks. Now we could head over to Avi's drop off, and that's gonna be the end of the mission. I just realized it could actually be Avi. I'm playing this without the audio, so I don't know, but if I've been saying it wrong the whole time, my bad. We've arrived, and that's the mission done. We now have the finale to do, and that's it. All right, let's get into it. I'm pretty sure at least this is a finale. Okay, to start, we're gonna collect the hacking device, and now we have to wait for the FIB to arrive so that we could get arrested. We are now in the building. Okay, we are in the interrogation room. We can read the emergency protocol book. That did not really help, to be honest, but let's see what we could do here. Okay, so we could grab this pen off the desk, and I guess we're messing with the wires here at the keypad, right? Yeah, okay. I believe red opens the door. Perfect. Okay, we are now through, and now we have to collect the hacking device. So we're gonna have to take out these people as quietly as possible. Oh no, that's not good. Have other people been alerted? Hopefully not. All right, I alerted the guards. That's not what we want. Okay, I have a pistol, not much. Got the hacking device now. Oh no, 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 no. Okay, relax, brother. Thankfully, we have screens to protect us, but now I'm going to hack the database. This hack is definitely a different one. I don't know if they've ever used it before, but we're essentially just lining up the wires. There you go. That should be good. Now it's time to go to the roof. Okay, so the alarm is already going. There's going to be plenty of people in here. This is just like the mission from story mode. And now that I've taken out all the agents, we could go up to the roof. And this is where stuff's gonna get a bit freaky. Okay, so we see people here. Try to take out everybody as fast as we can. Perfect. And now I'm gonna take the swift helicopter and get out of here. I'm going to use my snacks once again. Be safe. Please don't take me out. Okay, we are good. Now we're gonna fly away and deliver the helicopter to Avi. Wow. Okay, we're getting shot at. That's not good. And we're already going down. No. All right, I guess that's supposed to happen as we are getting up. Pretty cool little thing they tried out here with this mission. Can I not run? Okay. But now we have to to get into the sea sharks and go meet Avi. So, oh no. Oh no, 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 no. They just keep popping up out of nowhere. I should probably, oh no, no. Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay, okay, okay. I should take out this helicopter. Take him out. Okay, okay. Not having a rocket launcher for this mission definitely makes it harder. I don't know how I haven't taken out the pilot yet. Okay, finally the chopper's gone down. Holy, that was painful. I've reached a sea shark. Perfect. Time to get out the snacks and get to Avi as fast as possible. I've lost the cops as well, so that's perfect. And finally, we have reached him on his tugboat, which means that is the finale done, and we're gonna get our large payday. Okay, that is the mission complete. We got a total of 350k cash. I've seen other people get 500,000. I guess it's because maybe they had GTA Plus, not quite sure. Maybe I did something wrong as well, but 350k plus a 250k first time bonus is a great way to make some good money. I forgot there was an elite challenge though, so we could have got more money out of that, but that's okay. In total now we're at $1 million, and with the first time bonus we're up to 1.32 million, which is great for the first 3.5 hours of this challenge. So now that we've completed that set of missions or that heist, once again it will have a cooldown, so we can't do it back to back, but because it's been about an hour and a half since completing the Cluckin Bell farm raid, I now can get into another Cluckin Bell farm raid, make another 500k, which will put us pretty close to where we want to be for the next step in this grind. So I'm gonna head over there now, start up the raid once again. It should take about an hour and 15 to complete. Whoa, I just got 400k. I don't know what that's from. All right, I just saw on the bottom left that it's actually because I completed the mission in the first week of this event being out, so they actually gave me some extra money, which means we're now up to 1.7, and that means after completing one more Cluckin Bell farm raid, we could easily buy the business that we need. Because although I could just go back and forth between completing the Cluckin Bell farm raid and clean break, doing that would take quite some time, so instead I'm going to buy another business, and even though we're putting money down first, we will make the money back pretty quickly and be able to really scale up how fast we're making money in this game. But let's get into another Cluckin Bell farm raid. I'm not going to show you the whole process this time. I'll only show you if I run into any hiccups, but to save you the bore, I'm going to skip right to the very end. Alright, so I just finished up doing the Cluckin Bell farm raid. It did take me quite some time, I gotta be honest. I forgot that they permanently switched the Cluckin Bell farm raid to hard after doing it the first time, so a few things were done differently, or a few things were different for the finale rather, so I did get busted quite a few times, restarted like 3 or 4 times maybe. But in the end, maybe an hour and 20 to an hour and 30 minutes later, we now have our $500,000 payout, which does take us over $2 million, and that is the amount that we need to move on to the next stage in this process. So we now have $2,222,000 in the account, and that's after just over 5 hours of playing the game. But now that we have that money, let's now get into buying the real moneymaker for this challenge, and that's going to be in Dynasty 8 Executive, and it's of course going to be an agency. So there are 4 locations we could choose from, but I am going to go for the cheapest one, of course, Little Seoul, for $2 million. Now I don't care about the wallpaper, I don't care about highlights, armory, accommodation. Can we get accommodations? Not yet. Once we get the money, we will go for that though. That's really important. And of course I can't afford the vehicle workshop, but that's okay. Let's buy the agency for $2 million. And the reason why I bought the agency is because it will unlock for us 4 different ways to make money. Now there is 2 ways that I'm not really going to use, the first of which being the wall save over here. It will make us a couple $100s an hour, but that doesn't really matter. The most important ways to make money with the agency and the best ways are going to be all here on the computer, and that is the security contracts, which I'm not really going to do much of, the VIP contract, aka the Dr. Dre contract, which I'm going to spend most of my time doing, and then we also have payphone hits, but we can't do those for a little bit. So to start things off, we're going to have to do a security contract, and I believe the best one for us to do is going to be rescue operations. So let's get into our first security contract. These are simple 5 to 10 minute missions. They earn between $40,000 to $60,000 each time, and although it's not the most ideal way to do these missions, we do have one perk of the agency that's really going to help us out here for this one, and that's the fact that we could exit in our Super Velito. So now with the agency, we have a free helicopter that we can use. So to start off, we have to go here to La Puerta and find the client, and if I'm not mistaken, the client is almost always underneath the highway. So I'm going to land the helicopter over here. Actually, we could already see the cars there and the flare. That's perfect. All right, so there's a handful of people taken out here. Not good. Now I just have to find where the client is. Okay, they're over here. I'm going to have to take out the people, or the hitmen rather, that are after them. And once I have, I could then bring back the client. All right, we have some more people here. Okay, that is done. The client now has to follow me. Oh no, no, don't drive into the helicopter. Leave the helicopter alone, brother. All right, let's get in. Client is aboard. Now we have to bring them to the safe house, and that's the end of the mission. It's very simple. Now, although these missions are pretty pretty quick. Like you saw, they don't pay out great. I think this one's going to pay out about 46k, which is why I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. But once I've done one security contract, the Dr. Dre contract will unlock, and once I do 3, we will unlock payphone hits. So over the course of the grind, I will do a couple more security contracts, but not many. Let's see if I could land this properly without blowing up. There you go. That's the mission done. Easy as that. But as I said, now that we've completed that security contract, we can do the Dr. Dre contract. And we're going to start here. No, this is so frustrating. Now my Duke of Death is in the compound. This is definitely lazy, but I'm just gonna get another Duke of Death so that I don't have to go to the compound, okay? Or the impound rather. So I'm just gonna add this to the agency. There you go. But regardless, now we can start up the Dr. Dre contract, aka the VIP contract. There's going to be 2 setup missions or like intro missions that we have to do only for the first time. But every time after that, we won't have to do these 2 missions, including this one here. But for those who may not know, the way the Dr. Dre contract works is you have 3 mini heists, essentially 2 finale missions, and at the end of it we will get paid out $1 million. Now recently Rockstar made an edition, or a quality of life edition, where we could now skip some of the cutscenes, which used to take a lot of the time of playing this heist. The playtime would average out to about an hour and 30 minutes even if you knew what you were doing, but now with those cutscenes being skippable as well as knowing some shortcuts, I should be able to get this contract done in an hour and 15 minutes every time after the first playthrough. At least that is the hope, because I don't want to be losing my mind playing this contract over and over for the next day or so. So this mission is pretty straightforward. We have to just intimidate 2 golfers that were messing with Dr. Dre. This may take like 5-10 minutes to complete, but it's really not a difficult one to do. Let's get him on a T-bone here. Good. Let's see if we could take out this one. Oh no, come here. You're primed. Nope. This is not the position I want to be in. Get there, get there, get there, get there. Oh, these are so slow. Okay, I'm going for the best T-bone I've ever done. Perfect. That's 1 done. Come on, let's get this little rat. Finally, we got it. All right, now I have to tail him down to the pier. Kind of got something in front of you. Okay, I don't want this to take all day. Let's see if I can help him out a bit. Okay. No, he just got... Okay. I thought he was gonna go from one to another. All right, we're at the pier. Time to beat up the guy. All right, let's get at it. That should do. And that's the mission done. We're gonna get $11,000 from that, which is pretty good. We still need about 10 or 15k in order to buy accommodations for the agency. But now that I completed the mission, actually, wait, we just got 50k. Okay, first time bonus, I guess. I don't remember there being first time bonuses before for these, but maybe it's just been a while since I've done this for the first time. So I can now go and buy accommodations here at the agency. This will allow me to set it as a spawn location, which is why it's really important. There you go. But now that we've done that, all we have to do is wait for a call from Franklin to start up the next mission, and we're gonna have to do that for every single mission in the Dr. Dre contract for the first time playing through. After that, we could get things done pretty quickly. So I'm gonna wait for the call from Franklin, and I'll see you in a bit. Okay, we're back at the agency. Time to get into the second setup mission. This one is also pretty straightforward, only takes maybe 10 minutes or so. But once we get this one out of the way, we could then get into the actual contract, which will pay out a ton of money. All right, let's get into data recovery. Okay, so for this mission, we have to go over to the FIB building. We're going to zipline in. What was that? We're going to zipline in. I believe we're just downloading files. It's the same thing essentially as the FIB raid, and then we're hopping out. Something I would really appreciate though is if they would stop chatting and just give me the instructions, please. All right, finally we could go over to the skylights. Okay, so I have to toss a bomb onto the communications room, blow it up. Perfect. Sometimes the doors get stuck. Okay, out of the way, please. There you go. We're now inside, and I'm going to hack this computer. Nope, we're gonna hack this computer. And now that we've done that, I have to wait for the software to install. Okay, excuse me, pardon me, thank you. While the software is installing though, I'm gonna have to protect myself from all of the FIB agents. They sure are taking their sweet time getting up here. Was that one right there? Never mind, we might actually be Gucci. Okay, software has been installed. No, why does my Wi-Fi do this? Alright, apparently my internet provider has been shitting the bed recently, so no. I was just about to say that's why you don't allow monopolies. That's what Canada does, but alright, let's see if they debate me again. Can we sit down in the chair this time? Yes, we can. Okay. Can we access a computer this time though? That's the question. Okay, let's just hope that we don't get far into our mission and have it cut out again. Alright, I changed internet providers. Hopefully this works. I had to do it before I crashed out. 3rd time's the charm. No, why didn't I think of that? And now I can't get into the room. Are you kidding me? Don't Don't tell me I have to restart this mission. I'm clearly tall enough to get in. What if I crouch? Okay, I'm using my brain there. All right, the software has installed. Let's get back in here. Come on, let me in. I'm crouching. I'm so far below the door. Okay, we could steal the hard drives finally. And now we have to get out of the building without getting taken out. So this is going to be interesting. All right, outside of the building now, I'm going to go up this ladder here, get back into the helicopter and get out of here. Hopefully I'm not taken out before I get to the top. Come on, let me get to my snacks at least. Okay, this is a bit more hectic than I expected, but that's okay. Take out a couple people here, take out some of these guys here, guarantee that I could get into my helicopter at least. Come on, no, don't do this, don't do this. Okay, just in time, come on. I'm just gonna spam snacks the whole time. The agency has free snacks, so it doesn't matter. Now I have to lose the cops, and usually the best way to do this is to fly out over the ocean, wait for the cops to get off you, and then come back to the agency. All right, I finally lost the cops. Now we can get back to the agency. All right, that's the mission done. Now all I have to do is wait for a call from Franklin, and we could get into the actual contract. Okay, we could finally get into the Dr. Dre contract, and as you can see, we're gonna have 3 leaks that we have to do, essentially 3 mini heists, 2 finale missions at the end. That will be it. Each of these leaks have different things that are tough. Usually South Central is the easiest, High Society is one of the tougher ones, and the Nightlife is relatively easy, but either way, we should get through this pretty quickly once you know what you're doing. So I'm gonna start up the Nightlife leak and get into it. Once again, I'm gonna use a Super Velito for all these missions, because might as well. We don't have like an Oppressor Mark II or something like that, so having this helicopter is gonna come in handy for us to get around the map. So the first mission of the Nightlife leak is pretty straightforward. I'm actually going to try this one a little bit stealth to make things easier, but what we have to do is go through the nightclub here, take out all these guards, steal a tape, and we can move on. And did I already alert someone? I believe I did. Okay, that's tough. Oh yeah, I forgot to take him out. Oh no, okay. Oh wow, okay. That was aggressive. All right, time to clear out the place. All right, that is taken care of. We could pick up the security tape and get out of here. The easiest way is to go back out the way we came in. That way the helicopter is right in front of the entrance, which of course will allow me to get back even faster. Okay, that's that taken care of. I'm gonna get some snacks here from the lobby, then go back outside and wait for the call. By the way, for those who may not know, I'm going outside because you won't be able to get a call while inside the agency, so you have to go out to get the calls from Franklin and Amani. Anyways, I'll see you in a bit. Okay, time to get into the second mission. Now, a handful of the missions in the Dr. Dre contract have little tricks and shortcuts that we can use, and this happens to be one of them. Can I land this on the dock? I might be... Nah, that's probably risking it. I'm gonna land it over here instead. But as I was saying, some of these missions have shortcuts. This is one of them, and what we're gonna do for this one is we're gonna get into the green speedboat, which we have to. Let me figure out which one's which. Also, I suggest taking out the security guards. Makes it easier. That's 1, that's 2. The green speedboat, though, is over here, and what we're gonna do is get into it, and it will give us a location to a yacht. Now, what the trick is it's going to act or seem as though you have to take the speedboat all the way to the yacht, but in reality, we just have to drive the yacht around a little bit, wait a couple seconds, we'll get the location, and then we could hop back in the helicopter and head over to it. It makes things a lot faster. Okay, we got the coordinates. I'm now gonna head over there. All right, we've arrived. For some reason, the yacht is not loading. Okay, there you go. Now it's loading in. But I'm just gonna borrow this helipad. Hope they don't mind. Now I have to go to the other side of the yacht, take out all the guards, and get inside. Where are they shooting me from? These guys have aimbots. Okay, all right, we've been directed to the bridge, which is just north, and there's gonna be a handful of guards up here. That's fine. We could take them all out. I should probably upgrade my weapons at some point here, get the assault shotgun and a couple other things, but for now we should be good. All right, there's gonna be a guard right here as soon as we get in. Good, took him out. Anyways, we can now open up the cabin door, and the other thing I'm gonna do is actually, no, no. You can also disable the air defenses here on the right side, but I'm not gonna bother. I'm just gonna let myself get offed, which it'll then spawn me into the ocean, which will allow me to get away. Anyways, we're into the cabin. There's gonna be 1 guard here, and what we are looking for is some photos and images. Those are the same things. I'm not thinking. It's discs. No. I knew I was being too risky there. To be honest, I've barely played GTA 5 in the past like 6 months, so I'm a bit rusty with my skills here, but I should get back to normal as I'm playing through this. So there's 3 different locations. This is the first one. It's not there. So the other 2 locations are down at the cabin level in these different rooms. We're gonna have security in each room. There's not one in here. It's the next room that could have it. So there's gonna be security. No security there. Ah, here he is. This would be the second location, and it is here. The third location is in the back room, but we're gonna leave that for now. Let's take a pic of Dr. Dre, or at least take a pic of the magazines and everything. And now that we've done that, we could exit the boat. We are going to have a couple friends accompany us here, but now the easiest thing for me to do is to let myself get off. I could just hold a grenade, but I'd rather save some money. Okay, now that I've done that, I've spawned out here in the ocean. Like I said, I'm going to drive over to shore, and that's going to be the end of the mission. And we are now done. I'm going to go and session warp over to the agency. Now it's time to get into the Nightlife league finale. This one's pretty easy, maybe the easiest of the 3. No, The South Central leak's definitely the easiest of the three. This is the second easiest, but let's get into it and complete the first leak of the Dr. Dre contract. So to start off the mission, we have to head over to the casino garage. Okay, we're in the casino, and now we have to head over to the penthouse, which I believe will be, it's not going to be this way, the other way. Okay, we've arrived at the penthouse, and now we have to get to the very back where the promoter will be. Okay, here's a promoter at the very back, the DJ. We're going to get into a bit of a tussle. That was mad disrespectful, so now we're going to chase him down. But in order to do so, we'll have to take out a ton of security. Like I said, this mission's pretty straightforward, pretty easy, but there is a decent amount of combat. Okay, so one security guy pops out there, easy as you like. Okay, I chased him all the way down into the nightclub. He's cowering in fear. That's for smashing the bottle on my head. We're now going to take the backpack and get out of here. I'm going to steal the fastest car from the garage here, which is the Grotty Cheetah. And now all that's left is to drive back to the agency. Now I did have the Duke of Death parked outside if I wanted, but let's enjoy one of the OG cars. And that is it. That is the first leak done. We're going to get a little bit of money here for completing it, but we will get a first time bonus of, I believe, $100,000. In total, I should say, the first time playing through the Dr. Dre contract, I think makes you about $2 million, so pretty good. But every time after that, it's going to be the $1.1 million or so. Anyways, that's the first leak done. We just got our $100,000 first time bonus. Now I have to wait a couple minutes for Franklin to call me again, and we could get into the second leak. Okay, let's now get into the High Society leak. This one by far is the hardest one, but there are some tricks we could use to get through it a little bit easier. Okay, so this mission is very straightforward, and once again, it's one that has a shortcut that we can use. So the first thing is we have to get over here or land our helicopter. Okay. Don't do that. Let's not do that. Actually, we're on the other side. I just realized. Sometimes we're going in through the other entrance. This time it's over here, so I'm going to land the helicopter. Hopefully, we don't get any damage. But now that I've done that, I'm going to hack the keypad and get inside. 3613. Inside, there's going to be 4 guards that we have to take out. That's 1. And now we get to hack one of these security terminals. So now that we hacked the terminals, we've been given a location to a limo. For this mission, it's going to tell you to tail the limo, but the easiest thing to do is to go and blow it up. So having an RPG would really help out here. But instead, I'm just going to throw sticky bomb at it. I had a feeling it would take me out. That's okay though, as long as our Super Valito is still intact. But now that we've done that, we could pick up the driver's wallet. All right, there you go. And now we could bring it back to the agency. Okay, let's now get into the second mission. All right, so this one is very straightforward. We're at a lawyer's house and we're gonna have to go and kidnap him. As always, there's gonna be a ton of security in the way, but that's okay. And that is the final security guard. We've been given a stun gun to take him out, and we can pick him up, put him in the back of this Rolls Royce, and we have to bring this car back to the agency. Now I will be chased down by a couple people. You could see them coming up here. I should have got out my ammo, my snacks. I have to do this like 5 or 6 more times. I might lose my mind. Oh wow. Damn, broski got the assist on that one. And this is the mission done. All right, so before I get into the next mission, I'm gonna have to buy some stuff here from the ammunition because this is the hardest mission out of all of them, mainly because we're gonna have to shoot down a helicopter while they're fleeing. So it's definitely no easy task, and to help with that, I'm going to get this homing launcher here. If I could get like a railgun, that would be even better, but the homing launcher will help me out, and then also getting a sniper rifle will be important as well. Unfortunately though, I'm too low of a level to get the sniper rifle. Damn, so I'm gonna have to use the marksman rifle. Hopefully that will be enough. Let's now get into it. Hopefully this doesn't go poorly. To start, we have to head over to the billionaire's mansion. We've arrived, we're gonna go inside, and usually the best shortcut for this mission is to have a vigilante because we will have to take down a helicopter as I said before, but for this mission we're just going to figure it out with the homing launcher and hopefully our marksman rifle. So we just got to make sure that we have no weapon out. I'm going to leave the car there and I'm going to walk through the party here. We already know the person we're looking for is a person at the DJ booth, but the best way to go about this is I'm going to go up here, up onto the balcony, and then I'm going to wreak havoc from up here because we're going to have to intimidate the billionaire to get out of his mansion. So now that I'm up here, I have full ammo and everything. I'm going to toss down grenades and start wreaking havoc. Okay, the buzzard has showed up. Whoa, gotta be careful. We can also blow up the Rolls Royce that we had. Perfect. And I know there was one more supercar in the distance, so I'm going to try to hit it with the homing launcher. There you go. The intimidation bar is only about halfway, so we still have a long ways to go, but hopefully this doesn't take too long. The intimidation bar is all the way. The billionaire is leaving, and now we have to try to get this helicopter. All right, let's see if I could do it quickly here with the homing launcher. I should be able to get at least maybe 1 on them. Can that hit? No, I missed. Okay, not good. Can I hit them with that one? Ooh, I just barely missed. Let's go again. Can I get them that time? time. Okay, I did. Perfect. Can I get another shot off? Not likely. All right. Oh, but that didn't even count towards the helicopter's health. I forgot about that. Okay, so I completely forgot that the helicopter's health will not go down if you shoot it while at the mansion, so I'm gonna have to chase down the helicopter and shoot it when it gets low to the ground. And there are a couple points on this path where it will get pretty low to the ground. So at this point here, they're gonna get pretty low. Let me just take out these mercenaries as fast as I can. And now I could take a shot at the helicopter. Hopefully that pays off. No, how did I miss? I have a bad feeling about this mission. I don't think it's gonna go that well. It's always good to drive a little bit. No, that's not what I wanted. That is definitely not what I wanted. Okay, take care of these guys. Can I get one shot off at the helicopter? Come on. No, I'm gonna miss that too. That one should hit. Yes. Take another shot. Can I get lucky? Okay, so far I haven't gotten lucky, but they are pretty low now. Let's see if we could get it done here. The reason why there's so much urgency in getting this done is that if we let the helicopter keep going, the billionaire can then get to a yacht and the whole process takes way longer. But luckily I was able to take down the helicopter in 2 shots. Now something I could do very quickly to make this a lot faster is to take myself out twice, or 3 times actually, because we have 2 lives. So that was once, and that is the final time. So now I'm gonna load up into the sky and I'm gonna be able to quick restart and get back into the mission. And now that we are back, the helicopter is going to go down. Perfect. And we're going to spawn in with our Duke of Death right next to us. Let's take out the billionaire. That was pretty simple. I'm going to collect the phone. And now to end it, we have to head over to the agency. And the fastest way to do this is to pick up the Sea Sparrow that's right here on the water. If I had the Vigilante, I'd hop up into the airbase and take one of the jets. But since we don't have that kind of cash yet, I'm just going to take the Sea Sparrow. But this is it. Pretty simple. A lot easier than I thought it was going to be. That's it, and once again we are getting that $100,000 as a first time bonus. It's now time to get into the final league, the South Central League. The first mission we have to complete is pretty straightforward. I went over here to Davis, met up with Vernon, and we're going to head over to Cypress Flats. Here at Cypress Flats, we're going to interrupt the deal. It looks like we had some people behind us, but we're going to take out everybody that's here, steal a van with a bunch of crystal in it, and that's the entire mission. Oh, we cannot let the van blow up. Oh no. Okay, we got so lucky there. That car is going to blow up too. Okay, we gotta be careful. Okay, how? What? I don't know how I was mowed down like that. Okay, we've taken everybody out. Let's grab the crystal equipment and make a beeline for the exit. Not quite. Why are we stuck? Excuse me. You're in the way. I'm sorry, brother. My bad. All right, finally we could get out of here. We got a lot of bikers behind us. We'll take out a couple of them. And to lose the cops, I'm going to head down into the tunnels. I would call Lester if we could, but we can't. I've lost the cops. Time to head over to the drop-off. Next up, we have the second setup, which might be the easiest out of all the missions in the Dr. Dre contract, and what we have to do is head over to Davis, fight off a handful of gang members for a certain period of time, and then follow Vernon to a garage. That's literally it. So let's get into it. Okay, let's get into the finale, and luckily this is the easiest of the 3. So to start things off, we have to go meet Vernon and P at the Davis Mega Mall. Then from there, we're going to head over to the rival gang hideout, take out a bunch of people, and steal a lowrider. Very straightforward, and usually a little bit easier than the Nightlife League. We've arrived, time to steal that car. Okay, we've taken out everybody that we need to. The leader is going to take off, and another shortcut that we could use is going to be on this mission. Right as soon as this cutscene ends, I'm going to spin around, and as he's driving away, auto lock onto him, and I missed. No. Usually if you have a better weapon, you could take him out right away at that first try, but unfortunately the special carbine isn't great, so I'm gonna have to chase him down. What I don't want him to do is get to the secondary location, because then I have to take out a bunch of other people. Okay. We got him. Now to end the mission, I'm going to deliver the lowrider to the agency. That is the final leak done, and we should get our final first time bonus here for completing it in a second. Okay, we already got it. So we're sitting at $320,000 before going into the final 2 missions. We're going to get first time bonuses for both of them and the $1 million payout at the very end. The only thing to do now is wait for the call from Franklin. All right, it is now time for the first finale mission, if you want to call it that. This mission can be pretty easy if done right, but we have to make sure that it's done right. So what I'm going to do is drive over close to the studio. This is a studio where Dre is getting attacked. And now that I'm here, I've requested my Duke of Death to help protect me, because I will have to take out quite a few people outside of the studio before going in. All right, here we are. Everybody's out front. Having the homing launcher here will really help out. How did I miss? Okay, there you go. Finally got him. 2 more will be coming here in a second. Did I take him out in time? I don't know. And I don't know how I missed both of them. They were right in front of me. Okay, that kind of worked. I'll take it. But now I have to focus back on the guys on the other side of the studio. Now that I've taken out the cars though, I could just drive up and take out everybody in my Duke of Death. There should only be 2 more here. I'll take out the first one like that and the second one like that. Perfect. It's time to head inside, and this is where the hard part begins. Now, if I had an assault shotgun, that would be perfect, but because I don't, I'm gonna go with the special carbine. Although having a shotgun will really help in this situation, as we are gonna be close quarters the entire time. So we'll end up having to clear through the studio at least 2 times, sometimes even 3 times if I miss a couple guys. But this part is pretty simple. Just take out everybody as fast as possible. And as always, there's always one guy stuck in the room here. Took him out. That's the whole studio cleared out. We could head over to the control room. Oh, that's the mission done, and this is a very long cutscene, maybe 5-10 minutes, but after the first time through, I'm pretty certain now we could skip it and save a bunch of time. Alright, I'm actually just looking it up now, and I might not be able to skip this cutscene. I'm pretty sure I was able to, but if not, there is a couple cutscenes you can skip after playing through it the first time. Hopefully, this one is included, but there's a chance it's not. Finally, the cutscene is over. Holy, we just got 8 grand for that, and I believe we get $200,000 as a first time bonus, if I'm not mistaken. Let's hope. All right, moment of truth. No, 100K. Okay, so I think it's a finale that's a $250,000 first time bonus, or 200K. I can't quite remember. Not like this is my job or anything. Anyways, let's head back to the agency and do the finale. The finale is ready to go. Let's get into it. The first thing to do is to hop in our Duke of Death and head over to a location where we believe Johnny Guns to be. Okay, we are here. Johnny Guns is going to be there, but he's going to take off. He's a little rat. So now we will have to take out all of the hired gunmen and then chase him down. That should be everybody except for this one car. It's always the final one. They arrive late to the party. That's okay though. I'll send them to Valhalla. And now that I've done that, it's time to head over to LSIA. I don't know where my Duke of Death went, so I'm just gonna steal this car. We've arrived at LSIA, and this is gonna be another part where there's a shortcut that will save us a ton of time. So first we need to get into the building. Let's take out all the security guards here. There's gonna be a few more guards here in this corridor. There should be one more guy we're looking for. There you go. Oh, never mind, 2. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is take out a bunch of people there. I'm gonna explode these tankers. That's the one we care about. But now I'm going to take out a couple more people that are close by that will shoot at me. I think we have pretty much everything taken care of. Okay, so now that I've taken care of everybody, this tanker here is what we're caring about. We're going to jump up and into the tanker. I'm going to run to the very back, jump up again, and get into the back of the hangar here. Once we're back here, we could just run over to where Johnny Guns is and finish off this mission pretty quickly. I have to be careful now that I'm up here. He's going to be right there, and that one shot is enough. That is the mission done very quick. Before that shortcut, that mission used to take like 10-15 minutes. Now it takes like what, 5? And that is pretty much it for the Dr. Dre contract. We've resolved the issue here. We're going to drive Dre over to his private helicopter, and that will be it. Here we are, and that's the mission done. So if I'm not mistaken, this took me about an hour and 45 minutes if I don't include all the time with my internet crashing and everything, because I think the total playtime since we started today has been about 2 hours and 15 minutes, which means we got through our first one pretty quickly. Usually it takes like 2 hours, maybe 2 hours and 15 minutes. So we got it done really quickly this time, and because there will be skippable cutscenes in the future, we should be moving at a very quick pace. But there you go, we got our payout, and we got 250K as a first time bonus. So now we're sitting at $1.67 million, but we have what, $11 million still to go, which isn't great because we're already 7 hours and 42 minutes into this challenge. But once we get into the swing of things, we should be pretty good. So now the way the rest of this grind is going to work is I'm going to go back and forth between the Cluckin Bell farm raid and the Dr. Dre contract. I will mix in a couple of the Avi missions as well, but because each of them have about a 1 hour cooldown, I can essentially hit them back to back to back, making about $1.5 million every 2 hours or so, which isn't bad whatsoever. So I'm actually going to take a little bit of a break now and come back to it later tonight or tomorrow, but to save you the bore, instead of going over the same missions over and over, I'm just going to show you the most important parts. So let's get into the grind, and hopefully it's not too painful. Alright, so it's now the next day, which means the Dr. Dre cooldown is done, so I'm going to get into another Dr. Dre contract right out the gate. But as you can see in the top right hand corner, I do have a countdown timer for 1 hour, because I'm going to see if I can get it done in about an hour. Now that I'm able to skip cutscenes, we might be able to do it, so let's see. But as I said yesterday, I'm still just going to show you the most important parts. Alright, so as you can see, we have just over a minute left on that hour timer, and I'm only on the South Central League's first mission, and that's just because I've run into a bunch of bugs. I had one issue with the Billionaire's helicopter in the High Society League finale. I don't know what was going on there. I was losing my mind. but I've had a couple delays, so this is going to take longer than normal, probably closer to the average time of like an hour and a half. Although I do think if everything is going well in the future, we could definitely get it down to like an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes, as all cutscenes are skippable now. So I was right before, we could do this a lot faster. And here's a great example of skipping the cutscenes. We could just press this and we skip all that, saving us a ton of time. Anyways, I'll see you at the very end for the final payout. Okay, so that's the second Dr. Dre contract of this video completed. As you can see, we could even skip at this final cutscene, but once again, we're gonna make $1 million, and in total this time, it took me about an hour and a half. Now, the cutscenes were all skippable. It made things way faster, but I did have some issues with the High Society League finale, where the helicopter, even though I shot it like 7 or 8 times, it just would not go down, so I had to go all the way to the billionaire's yacht. I don't know what's going on with the Dr. Dre contract. Maybe I was doing some things wrong, but at the end of the day, an hour and a half isn't very long for the contract. But I actually have to go now, so I'm going to come back later, and by that time, the cooldown will be done again, so I could just do the Dr. Dre contract once again. So I'm going to go for a bit, and I'll see you then. Alright, I just completed another Dr. Dre contract. This time it was a little bit quicker. I think I got it done in about an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and 20 minutes. I had no hiccups this time with the High Society League finale, but an hour and 15 to an hour and 20 is still a little bit longer than I would like. I'm going to try to get it down closer to an hour, but I might be limited with the fact that I don't have something like the Oppressor Mark II or just access to other more efficient vehicles. So that is pretty much where we're at right now. Quickly, we should check out how long it's been so far. It's currently been 10 hours and 37 minutes, and I'm only at $3.8 million. We still have a long ways to go, but I'm going to keep at it, probably do more Dr. Dre contracts than anything else. I'll mix in a Cluckin Bell farm right here and there, but at the end of the day, the main grind will be the Dre contract. So I'm going to get into it. Hopefully I don't lose my mind. I'm going to try to do a bunch of them here in one day, and assuming I keep my sanity, everything will go well. Oh, I'm gonna fucking lose my shit, dude. No, I did all that work for what? Okay, that is another Dr. Dre contract done. We're gonna get our $1 million, and that one felt like it could have been my fastest one yet. Now, I did have a bit of a hiccup at the finale mission when I was trying to get Johnny Guns, but for the most part, I think I was pretty quick. There you go. There's our 1 million. Let's see how long exactly it took. All right, so if I remember correctly, we were at 5 hours and just under 40 minutes before. We're now at, 10 hours and 40 minutes. We're now at 11 hours and 55 minutes. So I think it took me maybe about an hour and 20 minutes, something like that. So that's good, but of course we are still a long ways from getting the 12.8 that we need. Of course, we could go for the cheapest mansion, but that's not what we're about. We're going for the big boy, 12.8. So we still have 8 million to go, which will be at least another 8 hours of this. I'm going to try to mix in other things. I've seen some people talk about how to best do the Avi missions and how you can make 625k from them. So that's something I might try out here in a bit. I also realized the other day that the reason why I got 350 was just because I didn't have it on hard mode. But now that I know that's an option, I might do that in the interim between some missions. So I'm going to figure that out now, but this grind's going to take quite some time and I'm exhausted. I don't know how many more South Central leaks I could do, but this is the fate I chose, so let's keep at it. Alright, so it's been many real life days since I last recorded, but in that time I've done many Dr. Dre contracts and we're currently sitting at $10 million. And now our total playtime is 19 hours and 22 minutes, which is crazy. Now, as I said, all I've done in that time was play Dr. Dre contracts. I've done a total of 6, I believe, since then, each paying out $1 million, maybe $1,050,000 if you include all of these setup missions. But doing all 6 contracts was definitely a grind. I've gotten to the point where I'm pretty sick of doing the Dr. Dre contract. I haven't lost my mind yet, like my friend Dan, but doing the same missions over and over and over is definitely boring and not good for your mental health. But now that we're at $10 million, we're very close to our final goal, which is 12.8. And to get there, I'm finally going to mix things up and do Dr. Dre contracts with some other stuff as well. Now, during the past 6 contracts, I have been able to find a few efficiencies here and there. At the end of the day, the only real time saver I've figured out is how to complete the High Society League finale pretty efficiently. As you saw, I was having a lot of troubles with taking down the billionaire's helicopter, but now I have a surefire way to get it done every single time. So for this time playing through the Dr. Dre contract, I'm going to skip everything else except for the finale of the High Society Leak, where I will show you my tricks on how to get that helicopter down quickly, especially as a low level or beginner player. Alright, so we are here at the mansion for the High Society Leak finale, and everything's going to be the exact same as I showed before in the very beginning. I find parking the car right next to this blue car is the best option. Get out there, and then once again I'm going to run over to the porch where I could take the best cover from all of the security. security. Now when I get here, something different that I've been doing is I start tossing grenades from here so that I get as many of the cars as possible. Usually the guard that's right in front of me tends to run away, so we should be good. Eat a couple snacks, but I think I have pretty much all the most important cars right out the gates here. Now that I've taken out all the cars, it's time to take out as many security guards as possible. For the buzzard, I still use the homing launcher. Oh no, that's not good. There you go. And any vehicles that I miss, I try to take out with the homing launcher as well. Once the bar gets to about 2/3 full, I then hop down over okay, that's not the way I wanted to do it, but okay. I hop down over here and I take out as many of these cars as possible, usually just the limo and the car on the left. I have blown up the blue car before, but it takes out the other car, so we need to keep one of these cars to get away. What was that? That was crazy. It was spinning for so long. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. Now I'm going to take out as many security guards as possible from this little gateway here. They will start spawning behind me, so I have to be careful. Yeah, here they are. But now I just take out all the security until I max out the intimidation. All right, that should be good. Yes, it is. We now just got the cutscene of the billionaire taking off. That's fine. I'm now going to take one of the vehicles here. But now this is where the real strategy comes in. So before I used to just chase down the helicopter and shoot at it with the RPG, or with the homing launcher rather. Now what I do is I drive along this highway as fast as possible until I reach the gas station, which is a little bit further up north. So I go along the road here until I get to the gas station on the left, and I stop right about here, and I'm gonna wait for the helicopter to get to me. In the meantime, I usually have to take out the security at least a couple times, and now I wait for the helicopter to come into range, and I missed the first one. That's okay. Go for the second one. All right, I missed it twice. That's not good, but I take one shot at it. Usually, oh no, how have I messed it up this time? All right, it's unfortunate that the one time I'm trying to show you what I'm doing, I don't actually do it properly, but that's okay. I'm going to go for the backup, which is a little bit further down this road once again, and I'm going to wait for the helicopter to come by again. What I'm trying to do is just get one RPG shot on the helicopter. All right, I should get it there. Yes, I did. Perfect. Now what I do is I take out the marksman rifle, and I finish off the helicopter with the marksman rifle. There you go. That's all it takes. So it takes about one RPG shot and then about 4 or 5 shots with the marksman rifle, and that's it. Now all I do is get rid of my lives. There you go. And when I get to this loading screen, I do a quick restart, and it's now going to teleport me over to where the helicopter is going to land. Now, of course, usually it takes about a minute or two less because I oftentimes get the helicopter the first time and don't have to drive further, but regardless, this is still way faster than what I was doing before, because I think out of the 5 Dre contracts that I did between the last time I recorded and today, I think 2 or 3 of those times I had to go all the way to the billionaire's helicopter because I did not complete it correctly. And for the times that I did get the helicopter, I was raging the entire time because I was so frustrated with it bugging out. But we now have the phone. The final thing to do now is to grab a Sea Sparrow if it's there. This time it's not. Usually I've been getting lucky and it has been. But because we don't have it there this time, I'm going to jump the army base and grab a plane. Okay, so to do this with the Duke of Death, I have to go pretty far away from the base just to get a good run up. And now, okay, let's not do that. Now that we're clear and ready to go, I'm going to go for the right side of the tunnel. And usually I go a little bit more to the right than you'd think because it is a bit of an easier jump. There you go. I'm now into the army base and I'm going to take a jet. All right, I'm in the jet and this is pretty much it. Now I could fly back to my agency and that's the mission done. Doing it this way has probably saved me at least 5 to 10 minutes every time I've played this, which has gotten my total time down to about an hour and 20, an hour and 15 minutes consistently. At least consistently in the last like 3 attempts. So I thought I'd share this with you if you are following in my footsteps or are a new player. Doing it this way is really easy without tons of resources or crazy cars to help you out. Anyways, let's get in our final jump, and now we are done that leak. So I've been playing the rest of the Dr. Dre contract the exact same from here on out, so I'm just going to cut to the very end where we have our final payout. Alright, I have arrived at the helicopter here with Dr. Dre. That is the end of another Dr. Dre contract. I believe this is maybe number 8 or 9 in this video so far. I've definitely done an unhealthy amount of Dre contracts, but it's going to give us another $1 million, which at the end of the day is what really matters, which now puts us at just over $11 million. So we only have $1.7 million to go. And just for confirmation, you can see there, we're currently at 20 hours and 43 minutes. And I think I took 5 or 10 minutes to do something while doing the Dr. Dre contract. So you could see there that it was about an hour and 20 minutes to complete it all. But now that we've done the contract and we have 1.7 million to go, I was thinking about doing the Avi missions, but apparently the Cluckin Bell farm raid has a $500,000 bonus this week for completing it as a leader. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to get the money right away. Hopefully I do. I don't want to wait multiple days to get it, but I think it makes sense to do that anyways. And then from there, I could go and complete another Drake contract if I want. Although if I do get the bonus 500k, I might just go right into an Avi mission right after, since it will take less time. And if I'm able to complete the elite challenge, I will be able to make about 625k for that 45-50 minutes of work. But we won't know until we get there, so I'm going to get into another Cluckin Bell farm raid. Hopefully things go well and I'm able to complete it in like 45-50 minutes, and then we could see where we're going at that point. Once again though, I'm going to skip through pretty much everything except for the finale so that you aren't seeing the same missions over and over. Alright, it is time for the finale. Hopefully all goes well here. Alright, I don't know what just happened there. Maybe we're on easy mode this time. That's weird. Alright, I don't remember the order I'm supposed to take out these guys in. Let's just go for that. That was risky, that was risky. I think I broke stealth. I did not. Oh, okay, thank God. Alright, that was everything out of the first room. Now it's time to go on rampage mode. I found this to be the most effective way to do this. Just take out everybody as fast as possible. There you go. Okay. And that's all of the coke. Alright, that's everything done now. Now I just have to make the great escape. It's going to be the same as every other time. Now I didn't know this, but I guess it just oscillates between easy and hard mode, because I got the hard mode the last time, or the second time I did the Cluckin Bell farm raid, but this time it's completely different. So luckily for us, we're able to do this when it's pretty easy. I think he's out of the cones of vision of the other guys. Oh, did I not take him out? Oh, I didn't take him out. Well, whatever. I was looking at the mini map while shooting him. Maybe next time I should actually pay attention. But it doesn't matter. Time to follow the train tracks all the way to the windmill farm, and then from there we're okay. As I was saying, from there we are on our way back to Vincent's lockup. Holy, just stay straight for once. Holy crap, man. Get me out of this fucking rust bucket. And here we are back at Vincent's lockup. Finally, this time my playthrough was actually pretty quick though. I think it took me about 50-55 minutes, which is pretty good considering I don't have a better car, like a vigilante or something. Okay, why is the cutscene not? Like I was saying though, I actually did this pretty quickly. And of course, once again, we're gonna get 500k, but if things are correct, I should get a $500,000 first time, or not first time bonus, sorry, weekly bonus as one of the weekly bonuses that Rockstar does every week. Money bone, come on, please. Don't tell me I did all that and I'm just getting 500k. No, don't do this to me, bro. Don't. I mean, to be fair, the Avi missions would have taken about the same amount of time. I only would have made an extra 125k, but that 125k would have taken me right up, essentially, to the 11.8 million I need before doing the final Drake hunt. Rockstar, please, man. This is so depressing. Okay. Well, I guess I have no other option. I'm gonna have to go back to the agency and do like a, what, 10th Drake contract? I don't even know. I mean, even after the Drake contract, I'm gonna have to do something. Maybe I'll do like the stash house here, maybe some pizza deliveries, like I don't even know. Oh, actually, I should go do the junk energy time trial really quickly. But for those who may not know, the junk energy time trial is something that can be done once every real life day, and it pays out 50k for completing a time trial with the bike. So, not bad. I completely forgot they're electric. So I've been wasting all that time not using that. But yeah, if we could complete this course in under 2 minutes, we will get 50k, which is great. And although it's not much, we still need 1.2 million. So anything that will contribute to that final 200k will be very helpful. It's actually a good thing that I'm doing this near the end of this challenge, because I actually have decent stamina. When you try to do these without good stamina, it is absolute hell. We should be coming close to the end. Get there in time. Yes, we just got $52,000 for that. We now need only, what is that, $102,000 to get us up to 11.8. Oh my, I am so dumb. I completely forgot that we have payphone hits with the agency. I can't believe I haven't done them at all during this challenge. So they're gonna pay out 45k per, and they only take about 5 to 10 minutes to complete. So I'm gonna do those here and there while completing the Dr. Dre contract, and that should, within, let's say, about 2 hours, take us up to the 11 or 12.8 million that we need rather. Wow, my brain is fried. But I'm gonna get into it, and I'll see you either when I'm doing a payphone hit or the final mission of the Drake contract. Okay, I'm back, and I just completed the setup missions for the Nightlife leak finale. Haven't done the finale yet, but something I realized is I haven't even done enough security contracts to do the payphone hit. So what I'm gonna do is just do some security contracts in the meantime while completing the Dr. Drake contract. Instead of the payphone hit, so pay out a similar amount, and the one I'm gonna go for, if it's available, is always going to be a rescue operation, as I do have the Super Valito, which will help, and it might be the easiest one to complete out of all the security contracts. Now, this security contract is the exact same type as the one that I did before when I first got the agency. All I have to do is pick up a client that's in danger and then bring them back to the agency. So I'm going to do just that. Let's see if I could take out a couple of these guys with the helicopter. Just sideswipe them a little bit. I'm doing something. I don't know if it's much, but I'm doing something. All right, I'm going to die if I keep doing this. So, okay. I really need that helicopter, so hopefully it does not explode or anything. Alright, traversing the... Oh wow, that worked out way better than I thought. Come here, buddy. There you go. Alright, please still be operational, helicopter. Okay, I think it is. No. Please don't make me regret doing what I did before. Alright, I forgot. We're not taking them to the agency. We have a safe house here. Okay, so let me try not to destroy my helicopter. Let's be careful. I don't see... Okay. Just don't blow up. Don't blow up. No. The mission's done. I swear. The mission's probably over. At this point in this grind, I swear to God, I'm gonna lose my mind. Why did I do that? I could have just walked in. I could have landed and just walked. All right, we have another rescue operation. I'm gonna go for it. This time though, I'm not gonna act like a dumbass. And now we have arrived. Oh, 41,000 for that, which means we only need 42,000 to reach 11.8 million, so we're very close. So I'm going to continue to do the Drake contract, and at the very end is when I'll do the final things to get us at 42,000. Alright, so I am back, and all we have left to do is the final mission for the Dr. Drake contract, and we're at $11.8 million. Now, I am going to spend a little bit of money to get some ammo, but after completing the finale for this final Dr. Drake contract, we'll have enough money to buy a mansion. Alright, we've run into Johnny Guns. I'm now going to take out all of his bodyguards and then head over to LSIA. Alright, I've arrived at LSIA. Time to take out everybody, grab Johnny Guns, and finish up this final contract. As always, I'm using my shortcuts. This has helped me out a lot during this playthrough. And sometimes I've struggled on this part a little bit, just because there are tons of enemies, but if I take out a handful of them before going up the stair... Okay. That has happened a decent amount of times for me. All I do is when I spawn back here, I just run around behind the planes and I get back to where Johnny Guns is. Alright. Finally, man, I almost crashed out there. Okay, let's get this guy up for like the 10th time. Skip that cutscene. Time to drive Dre to his private helicopter. You know, it's just now sinking in that this grind is finally coming to an end. It's kind of crazy considering how much time I put into it, but in the end, I'm glad that it's done because this has been a lot of work and a lot of Dr. Dre contracts. I don't know how many times I've said that, but anyways, we have completed the Dre contract, and you know what? I'm gonna watch it all the way through for the final time, as that is the canon way to go about it. Dre is taking off, and we're gonna get the final $1 million that we need. Alright, there you go, mission passed. $1 million. We're here at Maze Bank. I'm going to deposit all the money just to see in the account how much. No, that's not what I want. Alright, this is what I wanted to see. Balance, $12.8 million. We have done it. Starting all over on a brand new account with $0, we've hit the $12.8 million mark, and with that money, let's go and buy our mansion, the Richmond Villa, for 12.8. Unfortunately, I have no money to customize it, so I'm really not going to do anything. The only decision I will make is getting a different AI assistant. To be honest, Angel kind of freaks me out, so we will go for the Butler Haviland. And now to confirm our purchase, we have bought a mansion. Alright, so I waited for daylight before coming to check out our mansion, but here we are arriving at the gates. This is our mansion that we just bought on a brand new account, starting from nothing, which is amazing. So, of course, we're gonna have the cutscene here. Oh, they have Christmas themes. That's really cool. Okay, so that's part of the new weekly update. or this festive season. We have a Christmas tree in here and lights, which is amazing. But as I was saying, in this cutscene, we're of course going to be introduced to Michael and his wife, who I'm blanking on for some reason now. But because most of you guys have already seen this, we're just going to skip through this, and I'll see you in a little bit when we could actually walk through the house. And the cutscene is done. We're standing out here on our huge deck, and as you can see, we have beautiful views of downtown Los Santos. What an insane house this is. As you can see, there's multiple stories. We have a pool down here, everything looking copacetic. On the upper level, we have our dog over there that we could get if we would like. We could get a cat as well. We have living room number 1 with the grand piano, the main entrance here with the art piece, an area to chill here. I'm assuming that's supposed to be like designer stuff and whatnot, all that good. Here we have our office with an incredible view, of course, of the hills over there. And one of the best features of the mansions is the fact that you have fast travel business production booths, which is amazing. You can exit via multiple different vehicles as well. And if I was able to get all the rooms in this place, there would be so many benefits. We of course have our elevator over here going to the 2 floors below, and in the floors below we have some really important rooms like the trophy room. Of course I don't have any trophies as we just started, and there's a map here that plots out all of our properties and businesses, which is pretty cool. But aside from that, the other main places are the movie theater, an indoor pool, a barbershop and salon, the master bedroom, I believe, ensuite walk-in closet, and in the basement we have one of the coolest features being the vault. Now of course, because I have only what, $14,000, all we have is a small pile, but that's okay. And with that, that's pretty much all the features of the house, since I don't have the other stuff like the arcade or cars to fill up a garage with. But with that, in this video, we went from nothing on a brand new account and character and was able to buy one of the new mansions, and actually the most expensive mansion in all of GTA Online. These mansions really are incredible properties, so I hope you all really enjoy this update. It should be a ton of fun going forward. But with that being said, I'm going to leave things there. So the final thing to do is to check to see how long it actually took us to be able to buy a mansion in GTA Online, and it took us 23 hours and 56 minutes, although I did just spend 10 to 15 minutes yapping and showing around the house. So in reality, it took us 23 hours and about 40 minutes to go from nothing to having the most expensive mansion in GTA Online. Anyways, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please drop a like. I'd appreciate that, since I put 24 hours into just getting this property. But if you enjoy, drop a like. If you're new, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.